Hello everyone, how you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bilikis. It's good to be back with another tutorial, which will be a two-piece set but with a short. And trust me, you can cut this within minutes. If today is your first time of checking out this channel, please make sure you subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Bilikis Signatures, and on Facebook, Sewing Innovations. And for our online classes, our physical classes, get in touch with us through the number in the description box below. Now let's get started. I have 3 yards of fabric here. So for a two-piece short is okay for me. So all I'm going to do now is to start with the top. The first thing I did is to fold this fabric into 4 using the largest circumference. The largest circumference is the hip, which is 48 inches. So I just added about 2 inches to make it 50 and then fold. So here I have on a fold of 4, because I'm cutting both the front and the back together, I have like 13.5, which is fine. Then you need the length of the top you are making. For me, I will be making it 32 inches. So here I have 33 inches. So 1 inch will be for the hemming allowance. The next thing will be half of the armhole measurement. So it is 9, but because it's a free top, I made it 9.25. Going to the waist, 17 inches, to the hip, 26.5, and that is it. Let's get started. Now the first thing you will do is the 3 inches, 8 inches standard. 3 inches, then 8 inches. At that point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then half of the shoulder measurement. Half of my shoulder measurement is 8.5. So the next thing now is the bust circumference. So my bust is 46, so I'm going to make it 48. I can even make it 49.50 depending on your preference, since it is a free and loose top just going over your head. So if I use 48 divided by 4, that should be 12. So let me just make it 12.5. So plus seam allowance, that should be about 13.5. So between 13 or 13.5 is just fine. Then going to the hip, this is the waist. The hip is 48, so I can just make that, okay, 48 divided by 2, that's 12. I'll just make it the same, 13.5, which is okay. So at the waist here, since I use 13.5, I can use 12.5 here, just to give it some fittings. So I'm going to have a slit from the hip downward. So having done that, the next thing is to form the armhole measurement. So half of this. So for the front, I'll come in by 3/4 of an inch. And then the back. So we are done. The next thing will be the neckline. So for the neckline, I want the wideness to be 4 inches. Yeah. And then the depth, I may make it between 8 or 9. So depending on how you want it, so let me just do 7.5 or 7. However you want it. So this is 7. So I could have something like a V. Okay. So that's the neckline for the front, and then for the back, I'll just come down by 1 inch. As good as done. So we've added seam allowance all around the shoulder, half an inch. So half an inch seam allowance has been added to the shoulder region. Then the next thing is to also, you'll be cutting the back first. also the back armhole. So I'll use this leftover for the sleeve and the remaining for the trouser. So all has been cut out. So the next thing we are going to do is to remove it. Okay, I have to cut this through. So this inner one is going to be the back. So we go back to the front. So this is what the blouse would look like. It's just a simple one. So you can always make any design. So now we can cut the so we will be cutting the facing for it too, and then the front armhole. And that is it on that. You can even have a plain fabric to do some design on the front. You cut that as a facing if you want that. So the front and the back is ready. So now let's go to the shorts. So the next thing now is to cut the trouser. All I did is to fold the fabric into two. I'm marking on the wrong side. So you can use your thigh measurements with some inches to fold for the trouser. So the first thing I did is, when you are making a short, on the average, 18 inches is fine. On the average, 18 inches. But for people that want it longer, so for me, I usually do 22. So but it depends on your preference. So for me now, I want the total length of the trouser to be 22. So this is 22 inches. 22 inches. So because of the band, so I wanted to have an elastic band. So what I did is to add extra 2 inches to it. So all I have now is 24 inches. So after that, the next thing is the crotch extension. Remember I told you 2 inches for the elastic band. So this will be folded over from, onto the main trouser. So the main trouser is 22 inches for a total of 24. You can have yours shorter. Then the next thing now will be the crotch measurement. So my crotch measurement on a normal day is 11 inches, 11 and a half. So here I'm using 11 and a half. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do now is to insert the hip circumference. So my hip circumference is 48 divided by 4 will be 12. So I'll just add extra 1 to make it 13. Because this is a loose short, so you don't want it too tight. 13. And then I'll make a straight line. Good. So what I will do next is to measure 2.5 inches upward. If your crotch is not as long as mine, just measure 2 inches. Then I'll come in from here and mark in 1/2 inch. Then connect to the 2.5. So this has to be straight. Okay, good. So having done that now, you can now insert your thigh measurement. So you have to measure it loosely. On a normal day, I use 30. But for this, I'm just going to use like 32. It's never too loose. So 32 divided by 2, that should be 16. So 16 inches plus 1/2 inch seam allowance here, 1/2 inch, that is 1. So that would be total of 17 inches. Or I can decide to reduce it or make it just 16.5. Anyhow. So that is it. So having done that now, I can make the curve. So you blend it into this 1/2 inch. So that's it. We're as good as done. So now, for the hem, all you have to do is to divide this into 2. Then you fold it this way. Then you mark the middle. So having marked that, then we can put the hem. So for the hem, since I use 32, I can just decide to use like 30 for the lower part. So I'm going to divide into 2. So if you divide 30 into 2, that will be 15. So for the front now, you deduct half an inch, which will now make it 14 and half. And then the back will be 15 and half, okay? Now, that this 14 and half now, you are going to divide into 2 and then spread it out. The reason why we do this is because of the side seam, so that it just lays right where it should be. So 14 and half. And then I'm going to connect. Now for the waist, you use your hip circumference. My hip circumference is 48 divided by 4, that will be 12, because it's going to be elastic. So that's it. So you measure from this part. So you can add some allowance or just leave it at that so that it will still be fitted. So I can just make use of that. 12. So it's time to cut out. We are cutting off this part. So for those into ready to wear, you need this video. So this is what the trouser looks like. So this is just going to come over like this. So now let us quickly cut the back. Here too, I have folded the fabric. Okay, so the next thing is to trace out the line. So all you have to do now is this. So because this is not on fold, I make sure I mark a straight line. Then I will place it here and ensure all the lines are straight. Can you see that? So the next thing you are going to do now is to the crotch, just add extra 1 1/4 for the back. That is all. So the same thing, the same 13 inches we did for the hip measurement, we are going to mark it here. So remember, I used 13 for the front. So the next thing we are going to do is to come up by that same 2 1/2 inches. And then here at the top, I'll come in by 1 1/2. And then connect straight down. So here, from this upper part, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. And then connect to this part. So for the front, I used 12 1/2. Okay, so this is it. And note, the back waist of trouser is always smaller than that of the front, yes. So I'm just going to connect straight to the end. But if you are someone with big tummy, you can always extend. So that means you move your line forward. So we are done with this. And then fold for the crotch. So trust me, with this method, you won't have any problem with your crotch at all. So the next thing we did is to get the crease line for the front. So I'm just going to measure from the side here. whatever I have. That's 8.5. That's the crease line. So remember, for the front we did 14.5, so the back will be 15.5. So we are just going to fold that up. And we spread it out. So for the sewing tools, we have them all available. Just use the contact number in the description box below. So having done this now, the next thing is to cut it all out. Can you see how the back is being cut out? And then I'll cut along this part. So having cut it out, this is what it looks like. And you see, so our trouser is ready. So both the front and the back, everything has to match. You see that is it. So the next thing I will do now is to use the leftover to cut out the sleeve. So I used 3 yards of fabric and I used almost everything. So let me just cut out my sleeve, and then the facing we can start sewing it up. All the pieces are ready, so I've made my sleeve. So make sure it's 2. So this is the front, back. Then just to spice it up, I just want a little bit different, so I just decided to blend it up with this Duchess fabric. So all I did now is to cut out for the sleeve. So this is what I want to have. So I made it 2 inches in height, because on the wrong side now, I'll make sure it's facing the wrong side, 1/2 inch, bring it out on the right side this way, and then fold 1/2 inch to have just 1 inch. So that's how the sleeve is going to go. And then for the main top, I cut out my facing also with the Duchess. I want to have it on the outside. So this is what it's going to look like. So when you want to sew this, what I will do now is to make sure on the wrong side, then I bring it on the right side. So this is the wrong side of it. So I'll make sure I'm having it this way. So you make sure the right side is facing the wrong side this way. So I'm going to sew 1/2 inch and then bring it out on the right side here. So this is the back. I also did the same thing. So all I'm going to do is on the wrong side, make sure the right side is facing the wrong side this way. Then you sew 1/2 inch and then bring it out on the right side. And then for the trouser, all I have to do is to join them by the crotch. So now this is the front. I'm going to join the crotch and also join the crotch for the back, and then join it by the sides. So guys, I've joined some, like the sleeve. You can see what I have here. So in case you don't want seam allowance here, you can use hemming glue to glue it, but you need to do that very well. So for the sleeve, they are both ready. Also the trouser, I've joined the crotch parts. Remember I told you to join the crotch part, so I've joined it. So this is what I have now. So the next thing you are going to do is to join both the front and the back by the side. So I'm going to join it by the side and then fold the 2 inches that we left. So you fold it and then fold 1/2 inch all round. Now going to the main top. So you can see the facing. This is the wrong side. This is what I have. So you can see, make sure you notch your seam. It will make it stay so well. And you see on the wrong side, and this is the front. You can also see that. So I just use my pressing iron to fold in the 1/2 inch, and that's what it looks like. The 2-piece top and short is ready, and you can see how beautiful it is. Make sure the neatness is on point. Okay, so for the short, I decided to just have pockets in it to have to look beautiful. And then this is the top. You can see the inside, everything looks beautiful. And also with the sleeves, so the Duchess really brought out the beauty compared to just having it all African print fabric. Then I have the slits down here, so make sure you iron and give it a good press. So lastly, for the shorts, I folded in the 2 inches we left on the upper parts. So what it looks like at the end of the day. This is the front. So here at the back, I left an opening to pass through the elastic. This is just the my waist measurement minus 2.5 inches. So let me just fix it, and then you see the final look. Finally, the outfit is ready, and you can see everything came out so well. So after putting the elastic, this is how beautiful it looks. So I'm going to show you the full outfit on me. So that is it. If this tutorial has been helpful, please give me a giant thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for our online classes and sewing tools. Use the number in the description box below to get to us. I remain your girl, Bilikis. Bye guys. You just made the top and the short, and you can see it's so beautiful. So this is like an everyday outfit. So you should have numerous in your closet. And if this tutorial has been helpful, please make sure you give me a giant thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I remain your girl, Bilikis. Can you see that?